So the new Congress government in Telangana is in fact doing a review of every department, and I have with me Mr. Uttam Kumar Reddy, who's looking at irrigation and also the civil supplies department. Yesterday you had a review of the irrigation department. Even during the run-up to the campaign, you had spoken about the irregularities that are happening. What are your learnings now from what the officers have briefed you, and what is the action that you're planning?
We feel there was a lot of huge wastage and corruption in the irrigation sector in the 9.5 years of the BRS government. And there was secrecy in the tenders, in the way the works were allotted. There was, in my opinion, design deficiencies, lack of quality in construction, and many other things. Systemic deficiencies. And we had pointed out many times as opposition, both in assembly and parliament. Now, as it worked out, a month before the elections, the Medigadda barrage pillars collapsed. The Medigadda barrage is at the heart of the 1 lakh crore Kaleshwaram project, which the KCR government was touting as their showpiece of their achievement. And what they had to do, they had to de-water the project. They had to remove the water. So yesterday we had a review on it, and definitely we will do an inquiry on the sinking of the pillars and the poor quality construction, poor design of the Medigadda barrage. That barrage alone was built at a cost of 5,000 crores. And in 2 years, if it collapses, then somebody will have to be held accountable and action will have to be taken.
So you're talking about criminal liability as well in the spend, the huge amount of money that has been spent. And second, they spoke about big area coming under irrigation now. So is that something that you seem to have suggested that the area that was supposed to come has not come?
After spending 1 lakh crores, difficult to see how many numbers are there in that, how many zeros are there in that. Spending 1 lakh crores, new Ayakat water that was given, they said yesterday officially in the meeting is 1.5 lakh acres. So they are showing stabilization of Ayakat, that is existing projects that we have given water from here. Now, see, all those figures also look a little doubtful to me. I've asked them for a detailed, details of the Ayakat, which after spending so much of money, how much new Ayakat are you supplying water to? I asked them for a detailed answer, and I'm sure the figures will come in a few days.
Is the running of the project itself, sustainability year on year, is that also a question mark? Because this obviously was showcased, like you said, as the world's biggest lift irrigation project. And lift irrigation itself is a very expensive proposition.
What I have told them is, yesterday, that give me a cost-benefit analysis of Kaleshwaram project. What did you present to the financial institutions and banks and PFC and REC? How did you show this project as viable? Okay. See, there are certain aspects that for industrial use, for drinking water use, water can be taken at any cost. But when you were, what we asked him, what are the design cost? What are the cost of the project? What are the running costs of the project? And on what basis did you shift where the earlier Congress government had planned it at Pranaita Chevella, gravity flow, you shifted it downstream. Okay. And they are showing the requirement of some thousands of megawatts of regular operation to keep the lift irrigation scheme going. Now, we don't want to sound vengeful or vindictive, but somebody has to be answerable for wrong decisions and spending lakhs of crores, which we don't know if they'll be useful for future generations, and what is the level of corruption involved. So like you pointed out, Uma, sustainability of the project, I've also asked them to give me the figures, and we'll be having another meeting on that.
Okay. You're also reviewing the civil supplies department, and one of the big promises is about the 500 rupee gas cylinder. Is that going to be a universal thing? Is the gas cylinder need to be in the woman's name? Or is there an eligibility criteria like a BPL criteria?
Uma, there are two guarantees that come under the department that I reviewed today. One is 500 rupees gas cylinder and 500 rupees bonus for paddy procurement. We are committed to implement that. The today we have worked out some figures, but all I can say is we are committed to implementing these schemes within 100 days of coming to power. So since it's only a week of us coming to power, you have to give us another 95 days. And we are working out, I mean, today we had some idea on some figures. They have given me some numbers. So I'll have to take it to the Honorable Chief Minister, and the final decision will be taken by the Cabinet. Uma, just one thing that is very glaring of what the BRS government has left the state in. When we reviewed the power sector, the corporation said they have been left in a debt of 81,000 crores. Then when we reviewed the irrigation department, they said 10,000 crore bills are due for payment. Then today when I reviewed the civil supplies corporation, they said the loan outstanding is 56,000 crores. For example, civil supplies corporation, which supplies ration to the poorest of the poor, weakest of the weak, instead of being given money annually by the state government was giving them guarantees and saying you go and borrow from banks. So they borrowed year on year. Now today, they have reached a stage where their total borrowing is 56,000 crores. Their interest payment alone is 3,000 crores. So almost reached an unsustainable level. I've asked them to work out a proper proposal on how they can make sustainable operations, and then we'll take it to the Honorable Chief Minister for further directions on this.
Yeah, but the figures do show that the productivity in terms of the food grain production in Telangana did go up in the last few years, presumably linked to the cut as well, the irrigated area under under irrigation, and therefore your grains went up. What I want to ask you is, there was this question, say in Karnataka when they wanted to give the rice was available but they were not able to give. Now is it a possibility that your government can actually sell rice to your neighboring state so that you don't are holding stock, you're not holding stock which is not useful, and yet you're able to get the money?
See, Uma, today the stocks with the Civil Supplies Department of Telangana is 1.17 crore lakh metric tons of paddy. So we are looking at two options: some quantity of auction of paddy and some quantity of rice to be sold to neighboring states. In the first cabinet meeting, Honorable Chief Minister directed that these options be explored, the financial viability be seen, and to come back with a proposal. The department is working on it, and yes, we are definitely looking at both options, paddy and rice sale outside the state.
And you're saying rice millers are also holding a huge amount of money in this. While you're talking about it, you did share earlier that possibly gas subsidy, you gave a figure of about 3,000 crore rupees that could happen. How are you going to manage all this? Because your promises have raised huge expectations among the people, but you're also telling us that the finances of most of the departments are not in a healthy state at all.
That's a real challenge. Okay. But I'm sure, where there's a will, there's a way. We will find the resources. Look at the mess created by the previous government. Can you believe it that without any security, without any bank guarantee, today in Telangana, 87 lakh metric tons of paddy is lying with rice millers worth 18,000 crores. Okay, this is what came up in the review today. We are deeply concerned, but I'm sure we are going to cut costs, we are going to prioritize our spending, and 6 guarantees as announced by our honorable leaders from AICC, Sonia Magaru, Rahul ji and Kharge ji, we are committed to implementing the 6 guarantees.
Okay, thank you so much. So the Congress does face a huge challenge, but the minister certainly confident that within 100 days they are going to show how their guarantees have been implemented. In Hyderabad, with camera person Nagraju, Sudhir, NDTV.